patience, fallacies, enigmas, building up the people, tearing down stigmas, clothed with a purpose. When life tries to wear on me, pray and read the word, but I still go to therapy. No matter your past or what you've been through, this is a space, not judgmental. We got some things to get into. I got my mind and on my meds. No matter your past or what you've been through, this is a space, not judgmental. We got some things to get into. I got my mind and on my mental. Mind and my mental. Mind and my mental. Mind and my mental health. Mind and my mental. Mind and my mental. Mind and my mental health.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Minding My Mental Health. I am Tenethrea Williams, your host for today, and I am so honored that you all are joining me here today. So thank you so much for being a part of today's broadcast. Again, you know what I want you to do. I want you to hashtag live. Let me know where you are watching from. Also, let me know the platform that you're watching from. I've started to post onto Instagram as well. So if you'll let me know if you're watching from Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, I would appreciate that. Tag your friends, tag your family, share this page to your share this broadcast to your story, to your page, all of those things. And again, tag your friends and family. I'm going to do the same. I appreciate everybody joining. Today, we're going to just kind of do some resetting today. Okay, so I'm excited. Give me one moment to share this broadcast and to tag a couple of people. It's always such a good thing to know that you guys are joining, and I appreciate that because you do not have to do that at all. And so, again, I don't take it for granted that we have people who are here and willing to join us. We are talking about a reset today. So today is what we call our reset day, right? And so our topic is learning how to reset. What does that even mean? Sometimes we're going and our brain can get overwhelmed. Our body, our life can feel overwhelmed. But it's time for us to have some reset. And so I was thinking about the seasons that we're in. We're entering fall, or we have entered the fall season. And the fall is all about, if you look at the colors are changing, the leaves are changing. Fall is actually one of my favorite seasons because I absolutely love when the colors change. I even wore this outfit. It's a dress. Y'all can't see the whole dress. But anyways, I wore this because I love those fall colors, but also what it represents. It says, hey, sometimes there is appropriate time for us to release some things in our lives. Hey, Courtney, I appreciate you tagging everybody. Mama, I appreciate y'all tagging people. So again, thank you so much. So it's important that we don't get too afraid to walk away and let go of things that aren't really helping us now, right? And so let's get into today's topic. So again, we're talking about learning how to reset. Go ahead and put that in the comments. I'm learning how to reset. Have you ever noticed that the seasons do their change without fighting, right? Fall comes in and naturally the things in nature start to do what they're supposed to do. The leaves start to change. And it really is a physical reminder of how beautiful it is for us to let go of the things that don't serve us. Today isn't just about mental health tips. It's about recognizing when your body, your mind, and your spirit need to reset so that they can be in alignment with your true self and with what God has said about you. So resetting isn't just about going back. It's about coming home to safety, to self, and to God. So again, resetting isn't about just returning like to a calmness, but it's about returning to yourself, to safety, and to God. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we often stay attached to expired identities. So, what are we talking about? Resetting. If you're going to reset, sometimes if you've ever had a device like your telephone or something, and it'll say you need to reset it, right? It goes back to the way it was originally designed. It's a reset. It's going back to the factory default settings, right? Not the way things have changed it to be, but the way it was created to be. And so, again, today we're going to talk about resetting and letting go of expired identities, roles, relationships, and even health, even coping strategies, because they maybe once kept us safe, or maybe once these things helped us, but they're no longer doing the things that we need them to do. So, emotional survival strategies such as perfectionism, people pleasing, overworking, all of that is, we're going to put that in the category of summer, which is that really productive time. That's when the leaves are green, they look beautiful, and they even helped us to survive in that time. But those same patterns can suffocate us if we don't learn how and when we need to stop and reset, right? And so, some of you, people start to notice a shift oftentimes around this time of the year. You've probably heard of SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. People start to notice around the fall, winter-ish time, there is a shift. And I think it's because we're still trying to operate in a summer season without recognizing that our bodies actually are saying, hey, that season of overdrive may be over, and now it's time for us to reset. That does not mean that we aren't productive in that time. It just means our productivity may look differently. Think about, a tree is still operating in its function even in the fall time, even in the winter time. A tree is still operating in its function. You just don't see the same results. Okay, so a tree doesn't stop being a tree because the leaves are gone. A tree is still getting nourishment. A tree is still building the root system. A tree is still doing the things that it needs to do. Again, it just doesn't look the same. It may look like it's not doing anything, but in fact, it is doing the necessary work so that when the spring comes, when the summer comes back, it will be prepared for that. And so when I'm talking about the fall and the spring, talking about that metaphorically, I don't want you to feel like I'm saying rest means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are doing it. It just may have to look different because your body is saying, hey, I need to operate a different way to reset so that I can be actually functioning in all seasons and not just one or two seasons. Okay. So resetting is not a luxury. It's the nervous system's way of realigning with truth after a long season. It's our body realigning. Okay, let me know, because I feel like I'm just talking. First of all, I really do appreciate y'all tagging. Let me know if this is making sense so far, or if you have any questions. Let me know if this is making sense. So that first part is really just understanding that this resetting is not about going unproductive or falling off the grid. This resetting is a time for us to get back into alignment of any area where we may have been out of alignment. This resetting is about looking at our routines, looking at the way we've been conducting ourselves to say, is this still what I need in this season of my life? Okay, so we also have to understand internal seasons. That's what we were kind of just talking about. Understanding reset starts with awareness. A reset starts with awareness, learning to discern which season your soul is in. So we're going to use this as a framework. Again, I'm going to use these seasons as a framework. I'm not literally referring to the physical seasons of our nature, but as a framework. So you guys can see. Now, I will say a lot of times our emotional seasons are kind of in alignment with some of those seasonal, natural seasonal changes. But again, for this method, I want you guys to understand that we're talking metaphorically here. Okay. So summer is our time of high energy connection. We're doing a lot of things. It's high output. We're in max go mode, right? Fall seems, this is where we stop and we release, we reevaluate, we let go of things, we reestablish our boundaries, we visit our boundaries to see if these are still boundaries that are needed or if we need to make adjustments. The winter season is a season of rest, healing, growth, and then the spring is renewal, creativity, joy, purpose, and rebirth. Now, each of us actually may be in a different season in our life. Okay. Someone may be in kind of their fall season. Someone may be in their winter season. But again, oftentimes what we try to do and what our society has really, especially American society, has really tried to create for us is for us to live in the summer season all the time. Again, what did we say the summer season is? High energy, high doing. You're always moving. You're always doing something. You're always on the go, producing something, moving, shaking. It's grind culture. That's the norm of what our society tries to tell us we should do all the time. But the truth of the matter is, we cannot function in one season forever. If we only had one season, think about how out of alignment our planet would be. If we did not have winter, bugs would overtake us. If we did not have winter time, even though it is not my favorite season at all, because I don't love the cold. If we didn't have winter, there would be so many other issues that would happen. And so you have to look at your life in that way of, hey, each season has a purpose and I have to embrace those purposes, right? Most people try to jump from productivity, summertime, straight to springtime. Let me create something new. Let me stay on the go. And that's just not a healthy mindset for us. Even if you're thinking about trauma, from trauma informed lens, avoidance of the winter time. Winter is a lot quieter. It's a lot slower. This time in your life, you can actually put in the comments what season you feel like you're in right now. The summer season, which is go, go, go. The fall season, which is reevaluating, letting go of things that don't serve you, boundary setting. The winter is that rest, that healing, that growth. And spring is the creativity, new birth, and joy, or rebirth, sorry. So let me know in the comments what season you feel like you're in right now. So again, oftentimes what we want to do is we want to skip the winter. It's that downtime. It's that time of sometimes shedding the old mindset, shedding all of these things. That can be kind of fall as well. Sometimes winter can feel unsafe for us. Winter can feel unsafe because it's more still and it allows our brain to think. Stillness often invites emotions we've suppressed, such as grief, disappointment, or shame. But healing can't happen at full speed. We have to allow ourselves to stop and say, let me reevaluate where I am. Your body must slow down enough to feel safe enough to repair. I see a couple of people saying they're in that fall season. I also feel like I'm in that fall season as well. So let's talk about resetting after trauma, and again, sometimes it's not trauma. Sometimes it's just resetting after so much busyness. Okay. Restoring your body back to safety, even if it was not something that was traumatic. If you've been in a season of busy, 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 go, 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 overwhelmed, your body still needs to say, whoa, I'm not designed to operate like that all the time. It's still a time for us to restore our body back to safety. Okay. So trauma trains our brain to live in the false summer of go productivity, always performing, always bracing for the next thing. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. If you look at your schedule, you'll say, I've got 5 things to do this day, 5 things to do, not including my job, not including, and so it keeps us really busy. But even less, even rest can feel risky when you're in that summer season, if you've not trained your body to rest. Okay. So here's some signs that your body may need to do a reset. You feel tightness in your chest. You feel your thoughts are racing a lot. Your breathing feels very shallow, like you're not being able to really just keep yourself grounded. You're feeling exhausted. Even when you sleep, you wake up and you're still feeling tired. These are signs that your body is longing for and needing a sense of safety. Okay. So what's a reset practice? One of them is a grounding breathing, which is to place your hand over your chest and just inhale slowly and exhale slowly. The key to this is to exhale longer than you inhale. So if you inhale for 4 seconds, you want to exhale for 5. If you inhale for 5, you may want to exhale for 6. But what you're doing is you're grounding yourself, reminding your body that it is safe and that it's okay for you not to be on the go all the time. Okay. So feel your body catch up to the truth that your mind already knows. Let your body be reminded that you're safe. Okay. Another reset is the truth reframe. Okay. So it says, what beliefs kept me safe at one point that are now limiting me? So for example, if you've been super guarded, and you go, that kept me safe because I was around people who were not safe people. But now I've been around, I've created a new support system, and I'm around people who are actually healthy and they want the best for me, but I'm still guarded. So this one thing that used to keep you safe is now hindering you from growing. So again, one thing is to identify what's the thing that I'm holding on to that used to work for me, that in this season it no longer works for me. What is that thing for you that is keeping you stuck to an old survival strategy? What's that thing? And I feel like even this week in my sessions, I feel like that was a theme of people being able to, or people needing to reset and release something that once worked for their benefit that is no longer working in this new season. It's no longer working in that new season. And not seeing this reset meaning that you're lazy or that something's wrong with you, but just saying, hey, I'm transitioning, and transitions can be beautiful. Literally, the fall season shows us how beautiful transitions can be. Think about the fall colors, how beautiful they are. It's like, hey, I may be changing, but it doesn't have to be a negative change. Change does not have to be ugly in this sense, right? It absolutely can be a healing process. Even God built his solitude in rhythm into creation, right? He built rhythm into our creation. We have light, then we have darkness. This is every day. It's like there's a time to be productive, and then there's a time for us to start winding down. In our house, when it's time for bed, or when it's close to time, we'll start turning lights off. Why? Because that's a signal for our body, for our children, for our mindsets. Now is not the time to get excited. It's time for our bodies to start to wind down. And many of us don't allow ourselves to do that on a consistent basis. Resting and all of that is very much a part of your healing. Okay, so let's talk about the emotional detox and releasing what we've outgrown. Okay, if you think about it, each one of us probably has something that is no longer serving us, that's no longer helping us out. Okay. If fall had a sound, it would be probably the quiet rustling of letting go. So today I want you to think of one thing. You can put it in the comments if you'd like. One thing as you're sitting here that you know you need to release. Okay. We're going to talk about 3 layers of release. 3 layers of release. One is the mental release. The mental release. This is releasing an old mindset that you had before that is no longer serving you. I have to do everything for everybody. That's an old mindset that maybe is holding you back. I'm not good enough. Everyone else is better than me. All of these are old mindsets. It's going to take too much work. I'm too old to start over. All of these things are mindsets that are either going to propel you or hold you back. So I want you to identify a mindset that has been holding you stagnant and go, now is the time for me to recognize that I'm in a season of fall, and it's okay for me to let that go. Okay. So if you don't mind, if you will share what one of those mindsets is for you that you are releasing. But that mental release is examining your thoughts and saying, I'm choosing to release that. Courtney said unnecessary relationships. That is so powerful, because sometimes what we think is that every relationship is designed forever, and it's not true. Every relationship is not designed to be forever. There are relationships that are designed for specific times or seasons in your life. There are relationships that are designed for specific purposes in your life. And sometimes we try to carry people into every season when they were not even supposed to go into every season with us. And then we end up with unnecessary drama. We end up with unnecessary stress. And sometimes the stress isn't because those people are bad. It's because we're trying to hold on to something that was just not designed to go with us. We see busyness. Busyness is one of those things where sometimes you have to stop and go, I have been there for everybody. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to say no. I'm going to breathe, because watch this. Busyness can be the enemy to productivity. I'm going to say that again. Busyness can be the enemy to productivity. Now, some people may say, how is that? Well, busyness becomes the enemy to productivity when you're busy doing something that is actually not productive. You're busy doing something that is different from what God instructed you to do. And so I could listen to me. I have enough things around my house that I could stay busy all day. There's a laundry room that has laundry that I could clean, fold, wash, dry, all of those things. I could get in there and I could reorganize my closet. I could reorganize both girls' closets because their closets need organizing. I could do all of these things. And at the end of the day, my house would be nice and decluttered and look really great. But if I have not actually done the thing that God told me to do, it was just busyness and not productivity. Okay. So we don't want to hang on to busyness when we need to be being productive. Now, I'm not going to say that your productivity won't cause you to be busy, right? Then we're going to even talk about some decluttering and all that kind of stuff, but making sure that you don't allow busyness to be the enemy to your productivity. Um, yes, Sheila says, I'm choosing to release the idea that I have to control everything to be safe. Yes, I am not in control and God keeps me safe. I am safe in him. Yes, you may actually have to say that over and over again. In fact, Sheila, I would say recording that like on a voice note or something. And if you could put it on a loop and listen to that when you are going to sleep, listen to that when you're riding or traveling to work. Hey, I'm not in control. God is in control. I am safe when I'm with God. Doing that begins to help reshape that mindset. It is releasing those leaves that are turning. It's saying it's okay for me to release this. Because the fact of the matter is, number one, we can't be in control of everything. Number two, even if we could, it would be so overwhelming. We'd only be able to do it for a short period of time. So the fallacy of control is just that. It's a fallacy. There is no I'm in control of everything kind of thing. So that first layer of release is that mental layer, releasing negative mindsets, or, and again, I say negative, I don't even want to say negative, just old unproductive mindsets that are not effective in this season. The next layer of release is the physical release. Okay. This is the one that a lot of people, they'll come on something like this live. They will hear the motivational speakers. They will do all of these things and they'll go through and they'll do the mindset, or they'll do the work about the physical or the mental thing. But there's also a physical release that also helps our body to realign, reset. That physical release can be stretching. I advocate for stretching all the time. If you watch me, you know I advocate for stretching. Um, why? Because our bodies, especially if we, in reading comments, especially if you struggle with always staying busy, if you are a person that's always feeling like I have to control things, if you're a person that feels like I have to stay connected to everything and I have to have my hand in a little bit of everything, your body is holding that stress throughout your day. Even if you don't feel like you're specifically worried about something, um, a specific topic, your body is holding on to that. Stretching helps to release that from your body. Okay. So stretching, walking is another really great way to release. Why? I like to walk in nature. You can walk on a treadmill. Personally, I'm a get outside kind of girl, but walking, moving your body, even if that's not walking, you say, I don't really like to walk. You get a song that you love. It can be a gospel song. It can be whatever kind of music you like. You listen to that, begin to move your body, begin to release that stress from your body. Some of the most fun resets I have are when I have my music blasting and I am moving my body. And I don't care if it's on rhythm. I don't care if I look like I'm a dancer. I don't care about any of that. I'm literally just releasing the stress from my body. And that is one of the most powerful things for me and for many people, if you could get some movement in your body. You can cry. But movement can signal, hey, this part of that is over. I'm releasing that out of my body. There's a book called The Body Keeps Score. Really powerful book. I don't typically recommend it for lay people because it's got a lot of information that could be kind of traumatic for people. But I would say, remember that your body does hold on to things. And so you have to create healthy outlets for your body to release that. Mentally, you need to release it, but physically, you need to release that. In fact, if you are in a place where you can, if you will stand up and stretch for like touch your toes or get as close as you can for about 5 seconds and stand back up and do it again for 3 to 4 times, you'll feel, even in that small movement, whoa, what a release. Slow, deep breathing, releasing that stress from your body can help. The next release is the spiritual release. Okay, so we talked about the mental release, which is letting go of old mindsets, that physical release, stretching, walking, moving your body, allowing your body to let go of some of that tension that is held. And the spiritual relief. Forgiveness is a powerful spiritual belief. Not necessarily in agreement, but it disconnects you from the bondage that it held. Okay, so forgiveness is a powerful tool of spiritual relief. Also, another release is kind of what Sheila talked about, allowing yourself to trust that God has got you. So releasing yourself from the need to do it all. Okay. We have two girls, and both of them are very similar in some ways and very different in other ways. And so it's oftentimes we're talking about what do we do to get this, and then there are times when God will remind us, these are my daughters too, right? And we have to go, you know what? We release trying to control everything and make sure that their life is going in a certain direction, and we give them to God. I actually remember this when Brielle was a baby, like a little baby. She had her baby dedication, and I started feeling overwhelmed with the idea of being responsible for this person. And God said, you dedicated her back to me. You gave her back to me, right? And I was like, yes, Lord. And he basically said, well, let me do this. Let me handle this, right? And so a spiritual release is also that forgiveness piece, but also it's that piece of saying, God, I surrender my worry to you. And some of you probably need to say that. Close your eyes and just go, God, I surrender my worry to you. I give that worry to you. In fact, it's no longer mine, it's yours. This isn't in my notes, but let's do a quick visualization really quickly. If you can, I know some of you may be working and doing different things, but if you are in a place where you can do a visualization, if you will close your eyes and picture yourself sitting at God on God's lap, just sitting there, and you are holding all of the stress and worry. And I want you to just picture yourself saying, I'm going to give this to you because you can handle it. And I want you to release that and take a deep breath in. And as you release it, just exhale. Tell me how your body feels from that. Sometimes we need to do that. We may need to do that every day. You may need to stop and say, God, I'm giving you this thing. I'm giving you me to take control, to help me to release this. So the 3 layers of release: the mental release, the physical release, and the spiritual release. Forgiveness isn't just saying what happened was okay. It's saying it can no longer control your nervous system. Okay. That's really important. It's not saying that what happened to you was you're forgetting about it. It's saying, I'm not going to allow that trauma or that thing, even if it was busyness, to now control my whole central nervous system or my body's nervous system. So let's look at the reset blueprint. Okay. Are you guys ready to reset? If you're ready to reset, say, put a 1 in the comment if you're ready. Okay. So what do we mean when we're talking about reset? We're meaning getting back in alignment with who God created us to be. Okay. You cannot reset if you keep defining yourself by last season. You cannot reset if you keep defining yourself by last season. What do I mean when I say last season? Last season, I was stressed all the time, or last season, I was this, I was so that. Even if it's something good, okay, hear me. Even if it's something good, you can't reset if you keep referring to how it used to be. I always joke and use this example, but you've probably met some people that seem like they hit their peak in high school. And so every time you see them, all they have to talk about is the championship that they won in high school, or the award that they were the king, the homecoming king or the queen or whatever, right? And what that means is they're still identifying themselves by an old season. And so if you're ready to reset, you're going to have to say, I have to be willing to let go of how I saw myself last season. Okay. When life has demanded performance, survival, or caregiving for a long period of time, it's easy for us to mistake our role as our identity. So maybe you have been a caregiver. You're always taking care of everybody. Maybe you've been boss lady for everybody. Maybe you've done these things, but it's time for you to go, okay, well, that's not necessarily who I am. Maybe you became the fixer, the strong one, the counselor, the mom, the dependable friend, but you've lost touch with who you actually are. So here's what this looks like in real life. Okay. Strip away the labels for a moment and ask Holy Spirit, who am I without all of these labels? Ask Holy Spirit, who am I without all of these labels? These labels may not be bad, but they may be holding you hostage. Okay, I'm giving you guys a pause. We're going to take a minute. Ask Holy Spirit, who am I without all of these labels? The next thing for you to do is it says differentiate function from essence. This is so good. Your function may change because seasons shift, but your essence remains the same. You are valuable before you were useful. Put that in the comments. I was valuable before I was useful. What do I mean? If you've ever had a child, that child, especially when you saw them, after you gave birth and you look at them, this child is so valuable to you, right? This child is so precious to you. You love this child. They have not done anything. Okay, let's be honest. They have not completed one assignment. They haven't hit major milestones. They're just born, but yet and still we see and recognize their value. What does that mean? You were created with value. So sometimes we've tied our value with things. We've tied our values with accomplishments. We've tied our values with checking the box. We've tied our values to doing and not just being able to be. I was valuable before I was useful. Yes, exactly, Sheila. God deemed you valuable and worthy. God did that. Okay. Now, the next thing says create a space for self witnessing, which means once a week, check in without judgment for yourself. What am I feeling? What am I fearing? And what am I needing? What am I feeling? What am I fearing? And what am I needing? Now, I know most of you on here are believers, right? So you may be tempted to say, I don't fear anything. Okay. You need to be honest and go, actually, I am operating in fear in this. It is in the confrontation of that you can release it. Okay. So what am I feeling? I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I guess it was 2 days ago, maybe. I don't know. I was kind of feeling, a little more stressed. And I had to stop and I recognized, it's like, okay, I'm stressed. And I didn't really know why. And so I had to do kind of this activity. What's going on? Oh, okay. I felt like I had a lot of things on my plate. And once I stopped and I looked at it and I broke it down and went, okay, yeah, you got a lot, but this is not all of your responsibility. What is your responsibility? How can you help? What's the role of other people in the house and the family and in your career, all of those things. I was able to kind of reset my body to get back in alignment. So again, ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I fearing? Is there any fear? The answer may be no. Maybe there's no fear. But if there is, you need to be honest about it so you can release it. And then what am I needing? What am I needing? I need rest. I need connection. I need vulnerability. What is it that I need? Okay. That's self-connection. That's not selfishness. And we need to learn the difference between self-connection and not in selfishness. The last thing here, we're talking about this blueprint here. Under this first part, stop performing for your peace. Stop trying to look like you've got it together and actually do what's necessary to have it. So again, you don't have to look like you're okay to be okay. Okay. True regulation starts when your inner world is at peace. So a lot of us look like we are holding it together, and in the inside we're falling apart. And the value comes from saying, I'm actually going to admit I feel like I'm falling apart so that I can get the peace. And rather than walking around, I'd rather you miss um, a session for something and stay at home and get reconnected than to be at everything you said you were going to be at, which was 15 things after work. You hit it all, and it looks like, how are you holding it together? But inside, you're crumbling. It would actually be better for you to say, okay, I can't make half of these meetings. I'm going to make the first two because they're really important to what I need to do. But the other ones, what I'm going to do is sit home to refresh, get order to my day for the rest of the week. I'm going to set myself down so that I can be productive and not just busy. Okay. Even Jesus withdrew from the crowd to realign with his Father, not because he was weak, but because he refused to forget who he was. He also honored what the word says, and it tells us to rest. There's a Sabbath built into the system that God created for us to live. Most of us just don't honor it. Most of us do not have, if you're honest, we'll say we say Sunday is the Sabbath as far as when Christians kind of observe their worship time, right? We know that the Sabbath is in the Jewish culture is that Saturday, but we're not getting into that. Most people don't honor the Sabbath because there is not really a day that they have where they say, I'm going to sit and I'm going to rest, or even an evening where they say, I'm going to do this. That's really important for our reset. So before you rebuild your schedule, rebuild your routines, it's important that you rebuild you. Okay? If you don't return to your core identity, every new season will feel like the old one, just a different scene. So now, what some other things you may need to do? You may need to align your environment. You may need to realign your environment. Okay, so we talked earlier, I was talking about all the cleaning with the busyness. That can be a place where we spend our time with busyness, but it also may be something that we need to do, right? There may need to be some decluttering in your life, in your physical house. If your house is, things are everywhere, you may need to pause and say, I've got to get this in order. Even if I take off a day or two to get things in order. Why? Because you feel very different if you walk into a space, whether that's your home or at work. If things are in order, your body is a lot calmer. If things are chaotic, you can take that on a lot easier. If you walk into a space that is, again, chaotic, it can be a lot more intense for you. So saying, I'm going to do this thing, you don't have to be overwhelmed. However, you don't have to say, I have to get it all done today. I have to get it all done this weekend. What you can do is, if you have a table that has stuff all on it, okay, today I'm gonna get this table organized. That's it. But that when you walk in with that table, you're gonna feel so much better. My closet is one of those things. I'll go in and I'll say, yep, this afternoon I'm gonna get in here and I'm going to get things organized. And every time I walk in after that, I go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got this organized. Why? I feel better. So decluttering spaces that reflect old energy or chaotic energy. Okay. Aligning your environment. This is something too. It may not just be decluttering. It may be revamping. Okay. Releasing old things is not always about decluttering. Your house may not even be cluttered, right? You may need to redecorate for where you're going. I notice now, mind you, we are getting ready to move next year. But something on the inside of me is saying I need to decorate our bathroom. What is that about? Because ultimately I'm thinking I don't need to decorate anything because I'm trying to, but something on the inside of me is saying I want to walk in and that be a really nice, pleasant space for me. And so it may be that God is trying to elevate your space, not just declutter it. He may be trying to take you from a place of you've been stuck in the it's good enough space, and God is trying to upgrade your mindset. He's trying to upgrade your environment in that way, right? It may even be your vacation. For a vacation, you may always go to the same space, and something on the inside of you is saying, don't vacation at that space. I want to take you to a different place. I want to expose you to something different, give you a different life. Realigning your environment may even be switching friends. You've always been with these friends and they're still great people. You're not angry with them. You haven't had a falling out, but God may say, I want you to start hanging with these people more because I want to shift your mindset. I want to show you something different, right? All of this is a part of realigning your environment. So it could be decluttering, it could be upgrading something. It could be, listen, y'all, I am notorious for not having a clean vehicle. Notorious. Um, but again, it was recently my mom was getting her car detailed, and I said, "Hey, tell that guy I need to come over and get my car detailed as well." And I got my car detailed. He did a great job, but I felt so differently getting in my car, and I've been keeping it clean. I've still been keeping my car clean. I'm proud of that. Um, it is important that when those seasons change, what are we talking about? Resetting. Sometimes we're fighting it and we'll just go, oh, I'm just a disorganized person, or I'm just a messy person, or I'm not a person that keeps my car clean, or I'm not a person that keeps things tidy. But if you feel that pull, that is not that is God trying to align you with, hey, I'm actually trying to take you from a place of chaos to a place of organization. I'm trying to help you in this moment. Is this helping? Are y'all understanding and learning anything? Let me know how this is, how you're feeling about what I'm talking about. What area do you need to align your environment? Is it a switch, changing friends? Is it decluttering? Is it redecorating or decorating? Is it upgrading some of the things or cleaning something? All of these things can be a part of aligning your environment. So, number one, when we're talking about the blueprint to reset, the first one is to let go of the identity of the old season. Number two is to align or realign your environment. Number three, rebuild safe relationships. Again, sometimes we're so busy, we kind of let our relationships go. It's important that we go, okay, now who do I need to reconnect with during this time? It may be a childhood friend, it may be whatever. Um, so realigning those safe relationships because you've been busy, that you may go, I need to reach out to so and so and just go have lunch with them. I don't know if anyone has ever gone with friends and had lunch, ice cream, had dessert, whatever with somebody. And after you got done, there was just this refreshing. It was like, oh, I needed that. I remember, I think it was last summer. Um, my friends and I we said, let's get together for some ice cream. There was a new ice cream place that none of us had gone to. We went, we sat in there, we all got ice cream, and we sat there for hours laughing and talking and catching up and all of that. But at the end, when we left, it was like, oh, my soul needed that. My soul needed to reconnect with these specific people. Okay. And it wasn't that we disconnected in a way like we're angry with each other. We were all just busy in our busy season, but we took a moment to say, hey, I need to realign with these people. And some of us need to realign with people that feel good. Usually if I go to a family function with all my family and we're sitting around and we're laughing and we're joking, at the end, my heart is just filled with so much gratitude. I'm like, you know what? I know a lot of people don't have a supportive family. A lot of people don't have that. And so reconnecting in that way, holiday season can be really great because people are taking off and they're being more intentional about realigning with safe relationships. Now, it can be tricky if it's unsafe. You don't have to connect with people who are unsafe, but we're talking about realigning with safe relationships. Start small, one authentic conversation, one moment of being seen without performing. All of that is reconnecting. And I think that last part is important. If it's a true, authentic, healthy relationship, you can show up as you without having to have a mask on. Connecting with people that you can say, y'all, that was a lot, or I was overwhelmed, or heck, it may even be, I'm still overwhelmed. I need help. I need a hug. I need laughter. I need somebody to do this thing for me, whatever it is. But being able to have a space where you can show up and be your authentic self is important. Okay. So the first step in this blueprint we're talking, number one, you have to release the old identity from last season. Number two, you have to align your environment to realign your environment from the old energy or from the old way of doing things to this new way that God is leading you. Number three, rebuild or reconnect to safe relationships. Number four, this is one of my favorites. Reignite joy. Reignite joy. Joy is not some frivolous emotion. Joy is powerful. I've been teaching our kids, it seems like forever, but we've been learning about the fruit of the Spirit at our church. And as I talk about joy, we said joy isn't just about being happy because things are going well. Joy is an internal peace, an internal feeling, if you will, that knows that I'm okay. Reignite joy. It says it isn't frivolous, it's medicine. When we laugh again, your body receives the signal that we're okay. Laughter helps us to remember that we're okay. So finding someone that makes you laugh, genuinely laugh, like, you can be around people and their sense of humor is different. And so you've spent days going, ha ha, but there's no real, like, that was hilarious. Find people, find a show, find something that makes you genuinely laugh, that makes you genuinely happy, because it's not always about laughter. It can be about what's the thing that I love to do. What is something that you absolutely love to do? And when you do it, you feel refreshed, you feel rejuvenated. My husband makes fun of me because I like to climb the mountains, and every single time, even though I'm tired when I'm climbing the mountain, when I get to the top, heck, when I'm just on the journey, I'm like, this is amazing. Don't you just feel it? And he doesn't feel it the way I feel it. Like, he does not enjoy the mountain the way I enjoy the mountain. But that is something that genuinely creates a sense of joy for me. Your thing may not be climbing a mountain, and that's okay, but you should know what it is. And if you don't, that's also okay. This is a great time for you to start exploring. What's the thing that when I do it, I stand in awe. I feel very refreshed, rejuvenated. I feel alive. It may be creating something. Maybe you knit, and once you're done, you created this beautiful blanket. You feel refreshed and alive. It may be any of those things. So laughter, and doing things that genuinely speak to your soul. That's important. Okay. So reignite joy. When is the last time you laughed hard? Like, laughed till you cried, laughed until your stomach was hurting, laughed until you snorted, all of those things. When's the last time you had one of those types of laughs? And if it's been a while, I would challenge you to go, let me go find the laughter. I don't care if you go online and you go, I'm going to look up some funny jokes. I'm going to find comedians, find clean comedians that may make me laugh. I'm going to go and find people that are really hilarious. Again, why? Because your body needs to feel like it's okay. You're safe enough to laugh. You're safe enough to enjoy those things. Okay. The last part of the blueprint is rehearse peace daily. This is good. Rehearse peace daily. Okay. Think about this. It says peace is a muscle, not a movement. Peace is a muscle, not a movement. What does that mean? You have to train your body for peace, just like you have to train your muscles. You have to train that muscle of peace to say, it's safe for us to be at peace. It's safe for us to be calm. Train your nervous system to recognize calm as familiar and not foreign. I'm going to say that again. You have to train your nervous system to recognize calm as familiar and not foreign. Okay. How do you do that? Every day you do something that relaxes your muscles, your nervous system. Every day, whether that is taking a moment to do some slow, deep breathing, whether that is stretching at night, whether that is writing in your journal, releasing whatever, if that's starting your morning with prayer and meditation of calm, but practicing peace. The more you practice peace, the more your body and your nervous system start to recognize that peace is our friend. It's not something we have to fight against. It's not something that we have to be opposed to. We embrace peace. Okay. That's how you stay regulated for the next season when it arrives. You have to train your nervous system to view peace as normal. Okay. So again, I like to stretch at night. I like to walk. I like mountains. These are things that work for me. None of that may work for you, but this is a great time of exploration for you to try. If you already know, what are some things that help you either find great contentment and joy? If you'll put that in the comments, or the thing that helps you to release, you can put that in the comments. So just like if it's joy, put their thing that helps joy, because somebody may be inspired and try what you do and it works for them. So for me, the joy would probably be finding something funny, because I love to laugh. The joy is definitely climbing the mountain. There are different types of joy, though, right? They are, one is making me literally laugh. One is just some internal good feeling that I have. Building safe relationships, connecting with friends that we've been busy all year, reconnecting. But then practicing peace, the stretching, or just laying on my bed, just laying flat on my bed, taking some slow, deep breaths, and just allowing myself to be. Okay. So I want to hear I want to hear and see some of the things that you may use to reignite your joy and to practice peace. Okay. So this is about becoming the new season. Okay. It's releasing that old season. It's releasing the busyness from summer, and being able to hit in that refreshing season. Courtney says, I train my mind to relax in gardening, laughing, and walking while listening to God. Those are excellent. Those are excellent. I don't garden. I kind of wish I did, but I don't. But what I used to find out, especially when I was single and I had my house, when the weeds would get up around the landscaping, I would go out there and I would pull the weeds out. And it was something very therapeutic about pulling those weeds out, right? What was it? I think it was the physical act. I would physically be bending down, and like I would be tired, but that physical act of moving was helpful. But also when I would be done, I could see the impact of what I just did. So being able to step away and see, wow, I just made that look so much better. And I felt that release from the movement. And so those types of things can be really, really powerful in resetting your body and your mind. Okay. So just as fall prepares the ground for new life, your release prepares your soul for what's next. Your reset/release prepares your soul for what's next. my mom put in there, she says laughing is her thing to reignite. She said, I can remember something like Bobby done fell, and who can't run now, Jessica? Those are literally just some old YouTube videos that went viral that make her crack up. I know exactly which one she's talking about, because the same two make me laugh really hard. But even finding something like that and sending it to yourself, so that you can always, if you need that good laugh and you know that who can't run now, Jessica, is going to give you a good laugh, look at it, do all those things, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to breathe and think about these things over the next week. If you are a person who journals, here's something for you to journal. If not, you can just answer these questions. Number one, what season am I truly in? Okay. What season am I truly in? Number two, you can just write these questions down. If you want to if you know the answer and you want to put it in there, go for it. But number one, what season am I truly in? Number two, what is my body asking for that my mind keeps postponing? What is my body asking for that my mind keeps postponing? Okay. Your body may be asking for rest, but your mind keeps saying we don't have time to rest. Or your body may be saying, I want to do this thing, but your body keeps saying we just gonna rest right now. So it could be opposite, and you're still out of alignment, right? So ask, what is your body asking for that your mind keeps distracting or deflecting from? And number three, a powerful question. What do I need to forgive myself for to make space for joy? What do I need to forgive myself for to make space for joy? I'm going to read those questions one more time and then we'll wrap up. What season am I truly in? What is my body asking for that my mind keeps postponing? And number 3, what do I need to forgive myself for that makes space for joy? Yes, thank you so much, Sheila, for posting those questions. These are things for you to just think about and reflect. Again, thank you guys so much for joining. Let me know if you have any questions about resetting, realigning, or any of that stuff. Let me know if you have any questions before we end. You guys always know I'm going to say I appreciate you for joining me. I know you don't have to join me, and so I really appreciate it. If you will do me a favor, if you will share this video and tag a friend or family member that could use a good reset, somebody who may have been going through a lot of stuff, or just been super busy and you go, it's time for a reset. Will you tag them so that they can come back and watch the replay? Also, if you have not, and I know some of you have, but if you have not signed up for the Celebrating You daily affirmations, I want to encourage you to go and do that. I know that is a long banner, but all you have to do is go to tenethrea.com. Then you can go and you can search and find the offers for Celebrating You. It is only $1.99. Every morning, you'll get your affirmations sent to your email. And this is also a great way to reset. And so I am encouraging you to go and do that. If you have not signed up for your daily affirmations, it really is a great tool. Even when I am putting the affirmations in, because I go in and I have to keep them updated, right? When I'm doing it, I'll go, man, that's good. Man, that's so good. That's a good affirmation. That's a good reminder for myself. And so again, I am encouraging you, if you have not signed up, to do that. And if you have signed up, I appreciate you. And I ask that you would tell other people, hey, they're really good. Thank you guys for tagging. Again, I want you to sign up for those affirmations if you haven't. And of course, I always say this, if you know you need some coaching or counseling, and I can help with that. If I know you personally and I can't be your counselor, that's okay. I have plenty of friends that I can help refer you out. But if you need some coaching and you're ready to do some resetting or get ready for the new season, let me know. How can you contact me? You can contact me at tenethrea@gmail.com. You can also use my phone number, 470-410-9790. Again, that's 470-410-9790. Or again, you can email me. Either way, I'm going to get it and I'll reach out to those people. And so we can get them started. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great reset. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and let me know how I can help you. Thank you so much. Join me back here next Thursday for another episode of Minding My Mental Health. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Fallacies, enigmas, building up the people, tearing down stigmas, clothed with a purpose. When life tries to wear on me, pray and read the word, but I still go to therapy. No matter your past or what you've been through, this is a space, not judgmental. We got some things to get into. I got my mind in on my meds. No matter your past or what you've been through, this is a space, not judgmental. We got some things to get into. I got my mind in on my mental. Mind in my mental. Mind in my mental. Mind in my mental.